This evening, I'm really going to make you laugh. If you listen to this one and you can bear this one out, then you'll be doing very, very well. For one reason, when going back some years ago, or some years, let's say the late 80s, no, even mid 90s probably. I'd been working in the insurance industry since the early 80s, so a good 10 years or more, maybe nearing on 15. I was asked to go to a funny place. I think I'd read about it in the Bible. It was called Iraq. And somebody said, "Have you got a British passport? Or have you got a passport?" To which I replied, "Yes, I do have a passport." It was my boss. And I'd been working with this company for 2 months. And he said, "Okay, if you can give me your passport, I will send it off to the Iraqi embassy tomorrow. And we'll get you a visa and you can fly to Baghdad next week." To which I said, "Oh, okay, fair enough. I better have a look on the map and see where it is." Now, I do not want to go into the ins and outs of insurance, reinsurance, erectional risks, or contractors all risk insurance, which is insurance regarding major projects, enormous multi-billion-dollar projects all over the world. What I would like to talk to you about very, very briefly, and it is just a niche market of insurance, that is commercial credit insurance. Why commercial credit insurance? Because in the many, many sectors of insurance in which I've worked, I found it the most profound, the most interesting, the most intriguing, and one might say not essential, because of course if we're insuring our stock, we're insuring our machines, we're insuring our offices, we're insuring our warehouses, our factories, our cars, our fleets of cars, our employees, our collaborators and everything else. But one suddenly asks oneself, are you insuring your payments? Are you insuring your portfolio? Are you insuring your outstandings? And this is what you can do with commercial credit insurance, and that's why it's so fascinating. It's still a relatively new, dare I use the word virgin, but certainly niche and relatively not unknown, but still expensive, and as a result still perhaps a little underestimated. And rather than being seen as an investment and as a tool or an instrument to help us in some way expand into new markets and develop, increase our sales, increase the customers, explore new markets using the commercial credit insurance as like in a circus. If you're walking on a tightrope and you have a net underneath, just in case you fall off the tightrope, you fall into the net. The same applies for commercial credit insurance, which in the event, it could be catastrophic, but in the event of a customer of yours not paying, the insurance company pays up. Probably, maybe not 100% of the invoice, but certainly up to 85-90% of the invoice. And one of the biggest users of this particular insurance is, would you believe it, the textile industry. And this brings me to what I want to really talk to you about this evening, which is clothing. Textiles, apparel, whether it's ladies, women's, men's, boys, girls, kids, sportswear, apparel, informal, formal, gentlemen's suits, ladies' suits, doesn't matter. It all derives from the textile industry. Whether it's a company making thread, whether it's a company making fabrics, whether it's a company making synthetic linings, but again fabrics for shoes as well. But let's not go into the shoe industry because that becomes too complicated and too long. We'll talk about the shoe industry another time. It's another part of Italy. It's down in the Marche, down in Abruzzo, on the east coast of Italy, right down south. Here we are talking textiles. And textiles in Italy means three major areas. Geographical areas, which is Como, is the best known area for silk and silk fabrics. The other area very well known for wool is Biella, spelled B-I-E-L-L-A, Biella, and a little town just outside Florence called Prato, where it was originally run by the Italians, but has over the years been taken over by the Chinese. And now the Italians are working for the Chinese. But the companies have remained in Italy, fortunately. They haven't been taken away, they haven't escaped. There was a period when companies were moving overseas because they were looking for cheaper labor. They were looking for not cheaper raw material because the raw material was the same, the machinery was the same. Maybe they were working with second-hand machinery rather than new machinery. But one key question was always the design. And the designers were always and have remained, whether we're talking Armani, whether we're talking Prada, whether we're talking Versace, whether we're talking Trussardi, whether we're talking, you name it, the Italian designers are the best. There's no question. A very classic line could be Burberry. A very classic sportswear line could be Lacoste or Fred Perry. Ladies' wear could be Pierre Cardin or Yves Saint Laurent. But if we want to stick to the Italian brands, we must stick to and we must support the world of fashion and the Made in Italy brand, which is the favorite anyway. If you go to any shopping mall, you will see 9 people out of 10 appearing with enormous shopping bags and shoppers with Prada and Dolce & Gabbana and all the big Italian names and the top names. Just today I was hearing, or I heard on the news, that Gianni Versace had arrived in Syracuse with his yacht and everybody knew about his arrival there. But that's by the way. We're back talking about textiles, and textiles means sewing thread, it means fabrics, it means apparel, it means clothing, and it is the best in the world. Beautiful cotton, beautiful design, exquisite color, sense, fashion, fashion, fashion. And I can only close by saying, keep it that way, support the Italian entrepreneurs, and we will be very happy. Because if the Italian textile industry survives, it means we'll survive with it. So keep in there. Thank you.